What's up guys, James here. Today we're back again, and we actually have a special video planned up for today. So I thought I'd finish up this guide that I've been working on, and I think it's a really cool concept that can help improve your last hitting ability, and it's going to be turret priority. But first of all, I want to thank y'all so much for 5,500 subs. It's kind of crazy that I've been able to get this far just from playing Vainglory, and I know a lot of content creators have switched to Wild Rift, and they've been talking about all the growth they've had lately, but I think this is a really good chance for y'all to prove that you can still grow as much with Vainglory. So if you've not done so yet, make sure to drop a sub and leave a like for more guides in the future, since these guides do take a decent amount of time to put together. And also, I have made some guides in the past. They're a little bit older, but the concepts are still the same, so I'll leave a link to those in the description if anybody wants to check them out. Now this concept that I'm about to explain, it's surprisingly not well known. Even the higher tier communities, most people don't know about it. In fact, I didn't even know about this until I got deep into scrims and tournaments. But I'd even say a lot of pros don't know about it, just because it's really discussed, and for some reason nobody has made a video on it for Vainglory that I've been able to find. Now what makes this tip special is that it's an actual game mechanic that people are just not aware of. Of course, tips such as practice and focus will help improve last hitting, but I think this is a tip that can definitely make a difference right away. And it's an actual game mechanic, and it's some nice knowledge to have, even if you don't really use it too much. But to get into the details of this tip, first we need to classify the minions, since I'm going to be referring to the different kinds of minions throughout the video pretty often. So in a normal minion wave, you're going to have 4 minions. There are going to be 2 smaller melee minions at the front of the wave, which I'm going to be calling the melee minions. There's going to be 1 small ranged minion, which I'm going to be calling the small ranged minion. And finally, there's going to be a bigger ranged minion at the very back that I'm going to be referring to as the siege minion. Now in the mid wave, there's actually 5 minions in each wave, and there's just an extra small ranged minion added. So for every 4th minion wave, the siege minion is actually replaced with an even stronger captain minion. So these are names I'm going to be referring to as the different kinds of minions throughout the video, and I definitely recommend making sure that you know these, since it's pretty vital to be able to understand this concept. Now to get into the concept, the key behind it is to understand the patterns of the turret. Most people don't realize it, but the turret actually has an algorithm and pattern for the target that it focuses. Now this can be used to your advantage if you know the order that the turret will attack the minions. Now to get into the order, assuming an entire minion wave is underneath the turret will first focus all the siege minions, and once all the siege minions are dead, the next that it will target are the small melee minions. And finally, once those are killed, it's going to kill the small range minions last. Now for a captain wave, the order is a little bit different. The turret will actually focus the smaller melee minions first, and then the smaller range minion, and then the captain minion last. There is a little bit of a twist though. If there are no minions underneath the turret, and then a minion wave goes underneath the turret range, the turret will start shooting the minion that walks into its range first. So you do have to keep that in mind. Furthermore, for each minion type, the turret will focus the one that's closest to it. So if there's a small melee minion that's right in front of the turret, compared to a small melee minion that's further out of the turret range, it's going to target the closer one first. Also, be warned, the turret will glitch out occasionally. This will usually happen either on a captain minion, or if the minions are right on the edge of the turret range. That can cause it to mess up sometimes. So now what are the uses of this? How can you use this to improve CS? Of course it isn't a strategy that will double your CS instantly in a match, but I do think it's a cool trick to know and just some nice game knowledge that all players can use to improve their CS by just a couple each match. Because minion gold does add up, and any CS lead can help, since CS leads are the key component of winning your lane most of the time, so any advantage will definitely help you. Now when is this knowledge most useful? It doesn't do much for you, of course, if the wave is in the middle of the lane and you guys are just trading normally. However, if you're unfortunate enough to be 2v1'd in your lane, or if the wave gets pushed in, that's when it becomes most helpful. With the wave underneath your turret, if you know the pattern that the turret will attack the minions, you can use that to your advantage to farm faster and more effectively, since you know which minions you can focus yourself and which ones the turret will attack next, so it doesn't mess with your last hitting. So I believe that the easiest way to explain this is just by going through a few examples so you guys can see how you can use this knowledge to benefit you. So let's look at this first scenario. I'm a CP Idris that does not have his perk yet, so I'm really weak early game, plus I'm being 2v1'd in my lane. So pretty much the enemy has been able to build up a huge minion wave, and it's pushing underneath my turret. Now I need to clear it as fast and effectively as I can to save my turret and try and get the most amount of gold at the same time. It's hard to tell a bit the minions since they're overlapping, but there's 2 small melee minions up front. There's 1 siege minion at the back that the turret is currently focusing, and 2 small range minions right behind the siege minion. And then 1 captain minion is right next to them. So first, remember the order here. The turret will go from siege minion to small melee minion to small range minion to Captain Minion. Now look at what I have here. Both my Siege Minion and the small melee minions are almost dead. I know that as soon as the Siege Minion will be killed, the turret's going to change its focus onto the small melee minion, and since they're already low health, they're going to get one-shotted by the turret, and I'm going to miss this farm. Therefore, I know that while this turret is shooting the Siege Minion, I have to clear these small melee minions first and as fast as I can, or else the turret will switch focus to them, and I'm going to miss that farm. So after the Siege and melee minions are gone, the turret's going to switch focus to small range minions. Remember here though that getting the last hit matters, but so does clearing the wave as fast as I can to save the turret. Since it's a Captain wave, all the minions are going to have a small buff, and they're going to have more health, since Captain minions do buff the wave. Now, with only the small range minions and the Captain minion left, I know that it's going to take about 2 to 3 shots to get through each of the small range minions now since they are buffed by the Captain minion. And in that time, I can be taking the Captain minion, since I know that the turret's not going to focus the Captain minion until it finishes killing the small range minions. And of course, you can get the last hit on the small range minions as the turret gets in low. But yeah, that's going to be about it for this scenario. That's what I believe is to be the fastest and most effective way to clear the wave underneath your turret, while also minimizing the risk of losing a minion. But of course, there's multiple ways to do this, and you can use this knowledge for a lot of different reasons, and even if you do not choose to use it, since it is kind of a complex method, it's just nice to know, since it's just cool to know this stuff. Okay, so now let's look at another situation. In this one, I'm playing a Burst Arden build, and I just finished taking my healer while the enemy pushed in my minion wave. So we have one Siege minion underneath the turret, and another one on its way. There are 2 small melee minions on the way too. There are a whole lot of range minions, and also 1 Captain minion underneath the turret. So looking at this, the way that I'd probably approach this is to first try and kill all the small melee minions and as many small range minions as I can, while the turret is still attacking the Siege minions. This is useful since usually if the turret focuses those small minions, those are the ones that you're most likely to miss. Since if they take even a little bit of damage and then the turret shoots them, there's a possibility that they can die right away, and you don't even have a chance to get the last hit. Therefore, by killing these before the turret switches from the Siege minions to the smaller minions, you can guarantee that you're going to get those. Lastly, you know that the turret will focus that Captain minion last, and you don't want to miss out on the 100 gold, so now that you know when the turret was going to start focusing the Captain minion, to make sure that you get that last hit, you can time it so you have your B ability up, or any ability if you're playing another hero, to get that last hit by the time the turret switches to the Captain minion. So I especially do recommend killing the small melee minions first, because a lot of times your minions will be attacking the small melee minions, and that's going to mess with the last hitting and the turret shots, so I definitely do recommend at least getting those. But anyways, this is going to be about it for this video. I really do hope that you all enjoyed this tip, and it will help you guys out. Now I know it's going to take a bit to get used to, and it might take a minute or so to figure it out the first time, but as you use it more, you'll get used to it. But anyways, it's just nice game knowledge to know, but that's going to be about it for this video. Do not forget to drop a like and a subscribe if you have not done so yet. For more guides if y'all want to, leave a comment down below, anything y'all want to comment, and that'll be about it. I'll see y'all in the next video.